This is a free download of the FM104 Phone Show, Ireland's #1 late night radio show with Adrian Kennedy.
There is a major problem at the moment with people manipulating relationships with suicidal threats. A report says that more and more people are being faced with this. And if you've been faced with this issue, I'd love to hear from you. 6797104 is our telephone number. According to a study we were reading today, it says that more and more people are now feeling manipulated by suicidal threats from people that they want to break up with. They're finished with the relationship. The relationship has run its course. They want out. And lo and behold, they get told, you finish with me, I'm going to kill myself. I'd love to hear from you. 6797104 is our telephone number. The lines are open to you right this very moment. Leanne, you're on FM104. How are you, Leanne?
Hi, I'm grand.
Now, Leanne, this happened to you. Your ex actually threatened to kill himself.
Yeah, he did. I started going with my ex when I was 15, and we were with each other for 2.5 years. And I was doing my leaving cert, and everything got really, really stressful. And
Okay, so you're only 17 at this stage?
I'm 18 now.
No, but you were only 17?
Yeah, I was, yeah.
Okay, go on.
And I didn't want to be in a relationship. I had nothing to do with him or anything. Like, no like, funny business went on between us or anything. And I said it to him just before the leaving cert. I said that I wanted a break. I just didn't want a relationship. And he turned around to me and says that if I was to break up with him, that his life wasn't worth living, that he would go and, do something terrible to himself. And that put me in such a state, like, I didn't know what to be doing, because I didn't want to hurt him, that way, and I definitely didn't want to cause him any trouble. But at the same time, like, it wasn't worth, like, my feelings. Like, I was, making myself into such a mess, worrying over him and everything else that was going on,
Okay, so you had decided, nothing to do with him, that you're only young, you've got your exams coming up, you've been going out with this fella since you were 15, but you've had enough. You want to concentrate on your studies and whatever. So you tell him that you're about to break up with him, and he says what? I'll take my life.
It wasn't. He didn't say I'll take my life. He said that his life wasn't worth living if I wasn't in it, implying that he would do something. And when I said, well, does that mean that you're going to go off and do something? He says that he'll do what he has to do to get me back. Now,
that's an awful burden to carry for a 17-year-old. What did you do?
Well, I was very stupid, and I took him back. I said, okay, then we can work on whatever it has to be, but he had to give me space for my exams and everything. But I ended up breaking up with him 2 weeks after my exams, and anyways, and I told him that, it had to be final, that no matter what he was feeling, that I had to do this for myself, that I couldn't stay in a relationship.
And did he repeat those threats?
He did, yeah.
What did he say then, after your exams?
After my exams, he was saying that I was just doing that because I had turned 18 and I wanted to, go out with my experience other things. But that wasn't true. Like, I just didn't want to be in a relationship anymore, and I still don't. That doesn't mean I want to be going off with other people.
I understand that, and I can totally understand how a young girl in your situation doesn't want to be tied down in a relationship for any more than you already were, and that's fine. But being faced with those same threats of my life is not worth living without you, the fella obviously was mad about you. I'm assuming that he didn't go through with the threats.
No, he's all right. Thank God.
Were you worried?
I was terrified. Like, I had to text his friends to make sure that, everything was okay with him, that they'd keep an eye out for him and everything, that he wouldn't be, left on his own and, dwelling on everything that had happened. I was terrified that he would actually do something, and then I'd be blamed, for, breaking his heart and then him going and doing something terrible. Because although I didn't want to be in a relationship with him, I didn't want anything bad to happen to him. Like, I still cared for him.
Okay, stay there for a second. Samantha, you wanted to get in on this. How are you, Samantha?
Hello?
Yes, Samantha.
How are you, Adrian? How are you?
Grand, thank you. Now, what did you want to say on this?
Just want to talk to that girl. What's her name? Leanne,
Her name is Leanne, yeah.
Leanne, you're a selfish, stupid.
Now, Samantha, don't use that expression again. Seriously. Okay?
Right, news again, right, but come here. Like, any girls that, if their fella around threatens them, that's on her head. If her ex-fella had killed himself, that would have been over her. How would it have felt? How would it have felt? You didn't give a shit. You didn't care about him at all. That you said, like, go on, kill yourself then. You deserve to die, you do.
That's an awful thing to say to somebody.
Oh, she does. I'm very...
Hang on, Samantha. Was it not an extremely selfish thing of that young fella to do to her, to say to her that his life wasn't worth living without her? Is that not awful pressure to be putting on a young girl?
I understand that is a bit of pressure, but at the end of the day, if she cared about him and if she actually thought, like, you know what I mean, he's not right in the head for saying that, and she towards her and says, right, come on, kill yourself.
No, she didn't say that.
Samantha,
Yeah, but you still broke up with him. You still broke up with him.
Yeah, but I didn't turn around and say, go kill yourself. I'd never say that.
Yeah, but you still went through breaking up with him. You could have held off until he felt a bit better in himself, like...
Yeah, but someone like that is never going to feel better about themselves.
How do you know that they're not going to feel better than themselves? Like, you could have got him help, you could have got a man, and instead you just said, no, I don't care if you kill yourself, I'm breaking up with you, and you still broke up with him.
No, she took... Hang on, did you not hear what she said? She took him back the first time. She said, let's try and work on it, but when her exams were finished, she just said, oh no, here, I don't want to be in a relationship.
So you waited until after your exams so you wouldn't have any stress, is it? So you wouldn't have any stress in case he killed himself during your exams, just so you wouldn't have any. And you're saying that fella is all about him? And yeah, you done it for yourself.
Come here,
you know what? The fella's fucking better without you, love. The fella is better without you. And it's stupid him for wanting to kill himself over someone like you and something like you.
Have you ever been in a situation where someone blames you for wanting to kill themselves? You know,
I have, yeah.
Well, then how did you feel about it? You can't say that it's all blamed on you.
I got him help, I did. I got him help, that's what you do. You don't still break up with the fucking fella after he tells you that he's going to kill himself. What's wrong in your head? What's wrong in your head?
So, hang on for once. Samantha, you need to calm down for a second. Do you not think that it was extremely selfish of this young fella to put that burden on his girlfriend?
Well, I think it's even more selfish for her to turn around and wait until after our exams in case he did kill himself. Now, I'm sorry, that's what you call, that's wrong. That's wrong on so many levels.
All right, stay there for a second. Rose, you're on FM104. How are you, Rose?
Hi.
Hi, Rose. How are you? Now, your husband, or late husband as it is, also threatened. Why did he threaten to kill himself?
Because we split up.
Because you split up?
Yeah.
And in what way did he phrase those threats, or how did he put it to you? Like, if we don't get back together, I'll kill myself?
Yeah, basically. He just said that if we didn't get back together, he was going to kill himself. And
you obviously refused?
Yeah, I did. It wasn't my responsibility as far as I was concerned. Well, I didn't actually know he was going to do it now, to be quite honest with you. I mean, I didn't actually think he was going to kill himself. I thought he was just threatening. He threatened before. He cheated on me. He was bad to me.
Okay, you got rid of him. You broke up the relationship, as a lot of people would totally understand why you would do that.
For my kids' sake, that's why, I mean, I can't believe I'm listening to this young one. I mean, she hasn't a clue. I mean,
sorry, that was Samantha hasn't a clue.
Yeah, the young one that was going on mad at the other one for splitting up with the guy. Sure, Jesus, what could the young one do? Stay with him, and every time she wanted to get away, he's just going to kill her himself. Like, oh.
Samantha, you haven't a clue as what this lady is saying.
Well, I'm sorry, but that woman has her husband's death on her hands. She has his blood on her hands.
That's an awful thing to say.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, but that's...
I don't even listen.
Like, you didn't even believe him. You didn't even believe him. You didn't even believe him.
Yeah, of course well, if it believed him or not, it didn't make a difference. It's not my responsibility.
I'm sorry. My heart goes out for you now. I'd say you are upset.
I have my kids to think of.
Yeah, exactly. My heart does go out for you, but at the end of the day, like, I really don't mean to be bad, but it is your fault.
What was I supposed to do? Keep him and let him keep beating the shit out of me and cheating on me and doing whatever he wanted. and treating us like...
You get them help, like, that's what you do. You don't just...
Get them help.
The more you tell someone, oh, I don't care, go on, kill yourself.
No, she didn't say... No, hang on for one
I
second.
never said that.
Do you know what, Samantha? I'm sick listening to you. I've had enough. Get off the phone. I just don't want to listen to you being so insensitive. Go on, good luck. Being so insensitive about a topic like this, honestly.
Oh, for God's sake. I swear to God, she hasn't got a clue.
Let me ask you how you felt, Rose, after his death.
Oh, God, how I felt.
Did you feel guilty? Did you think it was your fault? Did you think you should have taken him back?
Oh, look, love, I've been feeling like that for 20 years, and that's the truth. I mean, I know in my heart of hearts, right, or in my mind, in my brain, I know like that. I've listened to all this, that it wasn't my responsibility, it was his responsibility. I'll always feel bad.
And have you come to terms with that? That it wasn't your responsibility?
Yeah, I have. I have, honest to God, I have. I feel bad. I mean, I look back, I regret loads of things. I regret that, like, my kids didn't know their dad, and that, like, he was a good father in a lot of ways. And I regret that. I regret what could have been, if you like. But, I mean... But
you've come to terms over the fact that it was not down to you to...
Yeah, after loads and loads of counselling. Yeah, I have. I've come to the... But what could you do? It happened. I didn't think it was going to happen, but it happened. I mean, I have to live the consequences of that, no matter what. And
can I ask you, and take this question whatever way you want, do you think that to threaten somebody in that way, to tell somebody like that, like what happened with you, like what happened with that young girl, Leanne, do you not think it's an extremely selfish thing to do?
Oh, it's an awful thing to do. It's an awful thing to do. I mean, that ex-husband of yours, or estranged husband or whatever, should threaten you with taking his own life if you don't take him back. You don't take him back, and he goes and does it and leaves you with that guilt for the rest of your life. That, to me, sounds very... Like, what, it was over, God forgive me, but in a few minutes for his. I've lived 20 years feeling like it was my fault, even though I have all the counselling in the world, and you know in your mind that's not. But sometimes in your heart of hearts you still feel bad about it. And that'll always be with me, I think, until they put me in the ground, never mind anyone else. So, I mean, she doesn't know what she's talking about, that young Samantha, when she hasn't a clue, she hasn't lived it, she doesn't know.
But in answer to my question as regards whether or not it is selfish to threaten somebody like that, you believe that what has happened to young Leanne and what happened to you was a very selfish thing. Firstly, to threaten, and then in your case, to actually go ahead and do it.
Yeah, because you can't. What can you do? You can't make somebody keep you just because. I mean, it's like saying to them, well, if I kill myself, it's your responsibility. It's your fault. You know what I mean?
And that's pretty much what he did to you.
That's exactly what he did to me. And then, if you do take them back, it'll just still keep the same carry on, it'll keep going on. Or if you don't love them or whatever, you just take them back and it'll never change. You know what I mean? So what do? Do you keep somebody in your life that is either bad for you or bad for your kids or bad for whatever? You know what I mean? Of course it's selfish. It's probably one of the most selfish things any human being can do to another, I think. And
Leanne, let me go back to you for a second. Do you think what that ex-boyfriend of yours did, do you think that was a selfish thing of him to do? Oh, sorry about that. What was that? Do you think it was a selfish thing of him to do?
Yeah, I think it's extremely selfish to put that responsibility on someone else. Yeah. You know, like, nothing's going to last forever, okay? Like, relationships come and go, and, like, people have to get over that. Obviously, like, we were both very young. It was both our first, major relationship. Obviously, it was going to hurt. So I understand how he felt, but there was no need for him to put me into that situation, because that made me feel terrible about what I had to do for myself. I was being selfish, putting my feelings first. But you can't put someone else's feelings first if your feelings are, you're not listening to yourself. For someone to put someone else in that position, they have to be at a really low point in their own lives. And I really feel for that Rose woman because, if that had happened to me, I don't know how I would have handled it. I really don't. I don't know how she's, still going on.
Okay, but stay there for 1 second and let's try and get into the head of somebody who's actually done that. Stay there, Rose and Leanne. John, you're on FM104. How are you, John?
How's it going?
Now, John, you actually did threaten to take your own life.
I did, yeah. First of all, I just want to sympathise with that last woman who was on there. I'm really sorry to hear what happened to her. And basically, my predicament was, I was walking along with this girl, and we seen each other, and we were going out with each other for a long time. And then when I lost my job, that's when all our relationships started tumbling down. And I was, she wanted me out of the flat, and basically I had no money.
Okay, so you lost your job, and suddenly she's saying, "Go on your way. Good luck."
Yeah, well, it wasn't just like that. It was a lot of things, but basically, at the end of the day, that's what it was. I was out in the year, no money, no nothing. So desperate measures required me to do what I had to do. So that's what I done. I threatened with suicide, and she took me back.
Right.
And that was it. I used her sort of as a cash machine then. Well, not like, I don't mean to sound that bad, but basically that's what it was. It was all to do with money.
So all you were to her was money?
Well, yeah, no, the two of us were in a good relationship. And then when things start going downhill, I was on my back. I put in everything into the relationship, as did she. But then when there was no money there from me, when I was unemployed, so therefore then she wanted me out of the flat. So then I had to, like I say, desperate measures. So I had to do that. I threatened with suicide and then took me back in. And that was it. Everything was happy out.
Now, okay, so you went ahead, you threatened to kill yourself.
I did, yeah.
And she stayed with you?
She did, yeah.
How long did she stay with you for?
She's still with me now.
So she's with you because she's afraid you're going to kill yourself?
Yeah, well, at the start, yeah.
And were you ever going to kill yourself?
No, with no intention of killing myself at all.
So, excuse the expression, but you were effing with her head.
Well, yeah, kind of. But I mean, it's dog-eat-dog world, isn't it?
So because she wanted to finish with you, whether for whatever reason, money or whatever, she wanted to end the relationship with you.
Yeah.
And you've now forced her to stay with you.
Well, I haven't forced her.
You have.
Not really, I haven't.
You've emotionally threatened her.
Well, maybe so. But I was being emotionally threatened as well, being thrown out of my home, wasn't I?
You can go and get another home.
It costs a lot of money that you don't have. And all your money went into your first home.
But why, let me ask you, John, and I have to ask this question. Why would you want to be with somebody who's only with you because you threatened to kill yourself?
It's handy money, it's a handy meal.
What do you mean it's handy money, it's a handy meal?
Well, I mean, she looks after me. It's a few quid. The money is there, there's an income coming in. I have a roof over my head and I have food.
Where you won't have that if you're out of there.
Well, how would I?
Well, go get a job then.
A job? You must be joking in this day and age.
I know they're hard to come by, but they are out there.
I couldn't even get a job in Abracadabra. I couldn't even get a job washing toilets.
Why?
Because there's nothing out there.
Okay, do me a favour, John. Stay on the line there for 1 second. Sorry, Rose, what do you make of that?
Oh, I just think he's foolish. He's an idiot. I mean, imagine telling somebody you're going to kill yourself just so as you can stay and have someone to, pay your bills. I mean, how would you take him seriously anyway? If that was me, he'd have been dead long ago. And that's the truth, because I wouldn't pay no attention to him. You'd know well he's only talking shite.
Have to be honest with you, I'm very shocked by some of the calls and texts coming in tonight about this problem.
Ireland.
Sophie just sent a text. I'm a girl who's living with that fear of the same threat. And that's directed at you, John. She says to do that to somebody is unforgivable. What do you say to that, John?
Well, I mean, the situation I was in. I mean, what could I do? You know, you're trying to twist this now.
I'm not trying to twist anything.
You were, the last one you said there. And then you have John there saying his girlfriend is throwing him out, so he says he's killing himself.
That's what you did do.
Basically, it was like that. But the situation was, I was being thrown out of a home where I put a lot of money into, and a relationship that I tried to build and build and build. And then when she hits the farm, and I'm out of pocket a few quid, and then she wants to out me out of the place.
John, don't get me wrong. I completely hang on for 1 second. I completely understand your anger. Completely understand how you'd be pissed off. You lose your job, and she says, "Go on your way." I completely understand that. But what sort of a relationship have you got with somebody now that she's only with you because you've threatened to kill yourself?
Well, it does me. You know, it's not even a relationship. You know.
It's just an arrangement.
It's just an arrangement. Well, it's not an arrangement. As far as she's concerned, it's a relationship. As far as I'm concerned, it's an arrangement.
And she's just staying with you because you've threatened to kill yourself.
I'm staying with her because it's a meal ticket for me and a roof over my head till I can get myself sorted.
All right, stay there for 1 second. 6797104 is our telephone number. Mark, you're on FM104. How are you, Mark?
Hey, how are you doing, Adrian?
Now, it's John you wanted to talk to.
I honestly think he has to be taking the piss or something. Like, the stuff he's coming out with, like, for him to say that he told her he was going to kill himself just to get a roof over his head and he put money into the home and everything, like, that's disgusting.
But you can understand how he'd be pissed off over being told to get out just because he lost his job.
Yeah, but there's never any need to stoop to that level, to turn around and say, I'm going to kill myself. Like, you can't just, that's emotional. The amount of people who have actually taken their own lives in this country, like, for them to be actually listening to this now, people are going to be turning their stomachs. Like, I can't believe that. Oh, yeah, honestly, Adrian, I think he's taking the piss. I honestly think he's bringing up a story. Like, there's nobody out there that would honestly...
Mark, I've hundreds of stories in the exact same way. The exact same stories. Why would he be making it up? I can cut him off and get another fella on.
Yeah. Well, those people should be locked up or something because there's something mentally wrong with them. You can't emotionally. That's basically. It's like he's a pimp. He's pimping her out, saying, "If you don't stay with me, I'm gonna go and kill myself." Like, you might as well be saying, "If you don't stay with me, I'm gonna kill you."
I know. That's not the same thing, Mark.
How is it not the same thing? You're threatening to take a life unless she stays with you.
It's nobody else's life.
Yeah, but that's emotional blackmail. Imagine you turn around and obviously you said
that's survival. That's what that is.
Survival. If you don't let me stay in this house, I'm going to go and kill myself. Like,
yeah.
How is that survival? That doesn't even make sense. It's not survival.
Yeah.
If she had to turn around...
I have a meal ticket every night of the week and I have a roof over my head. What would I have if I didn't have that? I'd have fucking nothing. I'd be another hobo on the fucking streets.
Yeah, but
what would you do? What would you do?
I'd fucking do anything else to stoop to any other level. Like, go to fucking anywhere else. You can't just go turn around and say,
anywhere.
I'm going to take my life.
Anywhere.
Get up off your hole and go and get a fucking job.
I'm not been up off my hole trying to get fucking work everywhere. Everywhere.
And will the social not give you anything now? You know, you can't get the dole or anything now.
Yeah, of course I can get the doles, but what's the dole worth? €118.
So you put money into the house, do you own half of the house?
Yeah.
Well then, to take her to court, you own half the house. She can't kick you out legally if you own half of that house, can't she?
Yeah. And the court will tell you to go and sell it or one buy the other one out. I'm in no position to buy her out and she's in no position to buy me out.
Well then you'd both have to live there. You both own the house. You have a legal right to that house. You don't turn around and say you're going to kill yourself to anybody. It's a disgusting thing to do. The amount of people who have suffered because their family members and friends have killed themselves in this country, and you're turning around. For all you know, she knows someone who killed themselves, and she has that on her head. It's disgusting. Should be ashamed of yourself.
Like I said, it's survival. That's what it is.
But you own half the house. It's taking the stoop. It's stooping to the lowest level. You might as well be eating a rat to survive. Like, I'd be less disgusted with you. I'd be less disgusted with you if you were eating live rats.
Then I get the sympathy vote, would I, if I was in the gutter?
Well, you won't get any sympathy vote for what you're saying now.
I'm not looking for the sympathy vote, but that's what you were saying.
Looking for the sympathy vote. For you to say, if you kick me out, I'm going to kill myself. That's a sympathy. She gave you sympathy. That's what she did. She said, okay.
She did. Exactly.
So you're looking for the sympathy vote. So you are looking for the sympathy vote, aren't you?
No.
Yeah. You just said she gave you sympathy. So you are looking for the sympathy vote.
What would you do?
I'd say to her, you can't kick me out of this house. I own half of this house. You have no right to kick me out of this house. So
I just have to go through that with you.
What do you mean?
Come up with a mortgage, I can't live there. All the things have to be split 50.
If you own half the house.
I don't own it, it's mortgaged.
Well, if your name is on the lease, you both have a right to that house. She can't kick you out any more than you can kick her out.
You don't. If you're not paying for it, you don't.
You're not paying for it?
If you're not paying for it. If you can't afford it.
She's paying for the mortgage.
She's paying it, yeah. So she's working.
And her name is on both your names are on the lease.
Yeah, both the names are on it.
Well, then you both have a legal right to it. There's obviously something you can get out of it.
Not when you're not paying it.
Around. Well, then get your dole and pay for it.
No, won't
fucking get a job. There's plenty of jobs out there.
Where are you telling me where I get a job?
There's jobs anywhere. You're just not willing to do the jobs that are there.
I'm willing to do anything. I went to Abracadabras everywhere, McDonald's is everywhere, and I couldn't get any work.
Go and do a course or something. To stoop to that level, to tell someone they're going to take your own life.
I've been registered with forced to do courses for the last year, and not one fucking course could I get out of them. I went to see TDs and everything, and I can't get a course. I can't even get a job scrubbing toilets. And you come on the radio talking all your crap. You stop, you haven't a clue. You haven't a clue what it's like.
What do you mean I haven't a clue what it's like to be turned around and told, get out of your house?
Talking, listening to a story that I'm after coming out with, and you're trying to analyse it all and tell me what I should do. You haven't a fucking clue, you muppet.
A story that you're after coming out with. To say you're taking this money off this fucking... And I hope she's listening to this thinking, I can't believe this fucking idiot. Like, to make an idle threat like that is the stooping to the lowest level.
Do you not get that, John? That to threaten somebody like that, you're not getting your own way. And I understand, I'm sure Mark understands the situation you're in and the anger you feel and blah, 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 blah. But to have to stoop to that level, it just seems an awful way to even stay in a house. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, it's what I said, yeah, Adrian. It's either that or on the streets. I mean, it's fucking dog eat dog.
All right, stay there for 1 second.
You have nothing to lose.
All right, Marion, you're on FM104. How are you, Marion?
How are you, Adrian? How are you doing?
Grand, thanks, Marion.
That thing that you have on, what's his name, Mark, is it?
No, John.
John, sorry, he's as thick as fucking planks.
Why?
Thick as planks, because he's using that woman. I was in the situation. He'll end up fucking robbing her. It's just acting worse.
Not at all. I wouldn't rob anyone.
You're a fucking scumbag.
How?
You're a waste of fucking space.
How much? You don't know me. How can you judge me when you don't know me?
Excuse me, I knew someone fucking like you.
You sound like you're out your bin. Why don't you hang up the phone and go and smoke your drugs?
Drugs in my life, you scumbag.
You sound like it. You haven't a clue of my predicament. You haven't a clue what I go through every day. So how can you turn around and tell, he just take his 2 planks?
There's hundreds of people out. What do you do all day?
What do I do all day? Look for work most days.
Yeah, I say
That's
that.
what I do. So why would I say I don't when I... Why would I say I do if I don't?
All day, smoking your roll up, smoking your dope, drinking cans, robbing the girl you're fucking
cans.
You're fucking low like...
I wish I had the money for cans.
Do you know what? You're a waste of fucking life.
So you don't know me. You don't know me.
Thank God I fucking...
Marion, let me ask you, what do you think of people who make threats like this, who say, if you don't stay with me, if you throw me out, if you leave me, I will take my own life? What do you think of that?
No, I don't. I think that's very wrong. Because if the person does take the life, you're then left feeling guilty. That's totally bang out of order. You know what I'm saying?
Well, mind you, listening to John, he's no intention of ever taking his life.
No, but why should he? He's a nice home, lovely meal, lovely heating, and not paying for nothing. He's a low-life scum. Literally scum.
I paid me way since I was 17 years of age. I'm 36 now. 36, and I'm out of work. I was never on the dole ever. Only on the dole the last year.
Okay.
And still can't get a work. I've always worked. Always paid me way. And then when I build up a home and all, and as soon as I'm not earning money, I'm being told to on your bike.
Well, this girl that you with now.
Yeah.
The girl that you with, has she got children for you?
No.
Has she got children anyways?
No.
Well, are you helping her pay the rent, clean up the house, and blah blah?
And I have the place spotless every day.
I guarantee.
But I can't pay the rent. I get 118 euros a week. That's what I get a week.
So, why do you do that? Because you normally get 188.
Well, I don't.
Well, everybody fucking else does.
Yeah, everybody else does.
Why
do you not?
Why do I not?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's all the benefits I'm entitled to.
Adrian.
Yeah, go on.
Adrian.
Yes, love, go on.
He must be different. Everybody else gets 188.
Yeah. I don't understand that now, to be honest.
Come here, Adrian. I had a scumbag living with me like that. You wouldn't want.
Yeah, you sound like the type that has scumbags living with you anyway.
I have nobody here now. And I have a lovely fucking home now. Because I got scumbags out in my life.
What are you doing with scumbags in the first place?
And
you're calling me a waster.
Because, you know, he was a charmer. Something like fucking you.
A charmer.
And here another
Where did you meet the charmer?
Here, I want to ask you, John, I want to ask you this. Do you not see something completely and utterly morally wrong to threaten somebody with your own life as a way of them staying with you?
When you have to survive, Adrian. Not when you have to survive.
He's a scumbag.
Jesus.
A scumbag.
You don't even know me to be calling me that.
Shoot if I did. You low-life shit.
Hey, you dirty old.
Here, relax there, will you, for God's sake. The fact of the matter is, a lot of people, John, think this is just the lowest of the low. Christy, you're on FM104. How are you, Christy?
How are you, Adrian?
Very well, thanks, Christy. Now, what did you want to say on this?
First of all, I think that fella John is a total prat.
Can you not understand where he's coming from? I'm not justifying in any way what he's doing.
Hold on, Adrian, hold on. I've left 2 relationships and 2 homes behind me and got on with my life. I'd never, ever, ever, anyone with a bit of decency in them wouldn't threaten their partner, whether it be male or female. It's morally wrong to put someone in that position.
Why did you leave 2 houses behind you?
Well, I tell you, I never threatened either of them that I was going to kill myself.
Why did you leave your house behind you? Why did you leave 2 houses?
Because I'm working out.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't put them in the position to be...
Was it a council house or a council flat?
Well, that's none of your business, what it was.
Yeah, well, no, my point is I fucking paid half of this place for donkey's years.
Wait for a minute.
Sitting in a council house all your life, scratching your hole.
Do you think so? Do you really think so? Come here for a minute.
Oh, you do, yeah, like none of you...
You don't know. Come here for a minute. Come here. Whoa. You don't know me either, so wait till I tell you. Get to the point here. Come here, you're a leech. You're a leecher. Get on with your life.
How am I a leecher?
You're a leecher. You blackmailed the girl to take you back in, and you're still with her. Worse fool whore. Get on with your life. Be a man. Grow a pair of balls and get out there to the life.
And do what? Leave another home like you.
Come here.
Another one like you. You're some fucking role model. Get off the phone, you clown.
Come here, you're the clown.
You're the clown. You're the one that's
clown.
You see, his point is... Hang on for 1 second, Christy. His point is, why should he be thrown out on the street and become another homeless statistic?
That's fine. Hold on, Adrian, that's fine. But the conversation is, he blackmailed his girlfriend or his wife to take him back in, or he killed himself.
That's what he said, yeah.
The reason being, not to be a homeless statistic, as he said.
Do you know what? You're the fool.
I'm saying to you.
You're the fool. You blackmailed the girl and you're still there living with her.
I don't even know what you're talking about. You're going around in circles.
Well, no, hang on. John, no matter what way you want to look at this, you have blackmailed her.
You blackmailed the girl.
No choice. I'd no fucking choice in the matter.
Because you were going to be out on the street if you didn't.
Grow a pair of balls and get out there and live your life.
You must have 4 balls.
Come here, you want to make up your mind what she is. 1 minute you're saying she's an easy meal ticket, she's paying the mortgage, you're not. 118 euro a week. Even a single girl on the dole doesn't get that.
And what? Everyone else is saying that everyone is getting €188.
188.
Getting less than me now.
So come here, there's something wrong there, isn't there?
You tell me. You're saying people get lower money than me.
Oh, come here, everyone else on the phone is telling you they're getting more than you.
You just turned around there and said people, single mothers, get less than
Well, now, he's probably getting less because he's living with her. You would get more if you were out on your own, to be honest with you.
Well, come here, Adrian. If he has half the mortgage and the house is in his name, and he has to be getting mortgage relief as well.
Yeah, but she's out working. Yeah, but she's out working, is she, John?
Look at Charlie, you bleeding knacker. That's Charlie Dillon, isn't it?
No.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Relax there, for God's sake. Let me go to Lucy. You're on FM104. How are you, Lucy?
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks, Lucy. Now, it's John you wanted to talk to, is it?
Well, yeah, and, obviously, the other guy's gone now, but I just wanted to ask...
Sorry, that guy's an absolute gobshite. He was no more telling the truth now than I was, but go on.
Yeah, I think so. I just wanted to ask, basically, has he ever had anyone in his life that has died through suicide? Or does he know of anyone, has he ever been affected by suicide?
Well, are you still there, John?
Yeah, I'm still here, yeah. And the answer to that question is no.
No, because, it's a really selfish thing to throw out. And I can see where you're coming from, too. You don't want to be left with nothing either. But, was there any way of, sitting down and talking with your girlfriend or trying to get help for yourself any other way other than threatening this,
No, I can't see any other way around it. So if I turn around and say, there's no way I'm going to kill myself, I'd be out the door of a shop.
Okay, but you're in a relationship. I don't know, how long were you going out together for? If you don't mind me asking. Okay, so you're going out that length of time. Could you not maybe sit down and talk things through, and obviously you're going out that length of time, she does have feelings for you, that you don't have to actually threaten suicide.
If she had feelings for me, she wouldn't have tried to oust me out the door when there was no money coming in.
Okay, but like the other guy said, you put money into that house too, so you do have rights. So she can't.
No, when you're legally not paying, I've been all this. I went to Citizens Advice and all, and when I'm legally not paying, or I'm either out of place for 6 weeks. If she out of home for 6 weeks, I can be ousted out of the house. At the end of the story. Or if I'm not paying for over 6 months, well then I've no legal rights. I'm effectively handing up my rights to the property if I'm not paying.
Right.
So the way I see it is there's nothing I can do. Only that. And it's working for me.
Okay, so you feel there is no other option other than to stay where you are, and if it means morally blackmailing her to stay with you so that you have a roof over your head, then that's what you're prepared to do.
That's the survival game.
Lucy, I don't in any way condone what he's doing, but I do have a degree of sympathy for the position that he's in.
I can understand the position, and I think it's kind of trying to get back at the girlfriend as well as, somewhere to stay.
I'm sorry to cut you there. No, I wouldn't. I'm not trying to get back at anyone. All I'm trying to do is keep a roof over my head.
Right. See, just coming from my point of view, having gone through someone who did actually do what you're threatening to do, through no fault of blackmailing anyone, just through his own personal problems, it's...
And sorry, why was he threatening you? Why was he threatening to kill himself?
Oh no, he wasn't threatening. He just killed himself and didn't tell anybody.
Oh right, okay. So, but he hadn't threatened him beforehand, had he?
No, he hadn't threatened, no. But I just think, when someone's gone through an experience of suicide or known someone who's gone through it, I don't think he would throw it around, as much as he is at the moment, I just think having no experience in it himself, it's probably easier for him to throw around. But I just think in this day and age when so many young lads out there are doing this, it's a very serious thing to throw around,
It certainly is, I agree with you. John, does your girlfriend, your partner, whatever, genuinely believe that if she throws you out, you are going to kill yourself?
And she did at the time, yeah. But it's a long time since we talked about it.
How long, like?
It's been, I'd say, the guts of a year anyway.
So you haven't had to reiterate your threats?
No.
And what sort of a relationship have you got now?
It's not like when we started, that's for sure.
Well, obviously,
but
yeah.
It was me. I mean, what aspect are you talking in? Do we go out in the nights? Do we go out the weekends?
Yeah, like, do you have a normal relationship like a couple should have?
No, not a normal relationship.
Right,
no.
so you're just living in the same house together, basically?
And basically, yeah.
Have
There's some intimacy as well, you know, but we have a lot of spare time.
Have you kids together?
No.
Do you own the house?
It's mortgaged. The bank owns it.
Well, okay, yeah, but it's your house.
Yeah.
All right, I want to bring in just one last call on this. Jade, your ex did this as well.
He did. Actually, I was in the position John's girlfriend was. Is that his name, John? I was in the position his girlfriend was in. He threatened me throughout the whole relationship. He'd dropped sly hints as to say, oh, if you left me now, I don't know what I'd do, or stuff like that, or I'd hurt myself, or he threatened once to throw himself down the stairs. And I'm not being bad. I stayed with him longer than I did, and I was so unhappy because I stayed with him longer.
And what, you would say, I want to finish this relationship, and he'd stand at the top of the stairs saying, I'm going to chuck myself down.
I wouldn't even have to say it. He'd say it himself. He'd randomly be sitting on the couch and he'd randomly come out of the blue and say, if you ever left me, I don't know what I'd do with myself. Like, you know, that way he was so insecure about himself, and he kept saying it. And that kind of, when I did want to end it, I was putting it off for months because going through my head, what will he do? What will happen? You know, and I was so unhappy with myself even going through, because I know I'm just leading him on at the end of the day. Maybe his girlfriend's seeing like I'm leading him on because maybe he's going to kill himself because, well, it's something I do, you know? It's emotional.
So how did you get out in the end?
To be honest, I'm the support of my family. They kind of, I told my mum I was keeping it to myself, and I told my mum, and she was like, look, it's emotional blackmail. He's not going to do any of that stuff. It's just all talk. And I just ended it like I did in a normal relationship. That's when he said to me, look, if you don't do it, I'm going to go home and throw myself down the stairs. Or I'm going to drive my car off a cliff. That's what he said to me as well. And thinking about it now, those were silly threats. But like at the time when you're going through an emotional breakup, it is emotional. And you don't know what's going through your head. You're going, will he actually do this? What will I do if he does this, you know?
But he never did, obviously.
No, he didn't. No.
And you managed to get out of the relationship?
I did. It was like, and in the end, it was like a normal like a normal breakup. Thinking about it now, if someone said that to me now, I wouldn't have any time for them.
You see, the sad part about this conversation, though, is one of the callers we had earlier on, I can't remember her name, was a Rose, I think, who was telling us about her husband, her late husband. They split up, and he threatened, if you don't take me back, I'll kill myself. She didn't, but he eventually did.
I mean, I feel so sorry for her, and I mean, it's a horrible thing to have to live with. But going on, fair enough, the initial breakup, if they threatened at the initial breakup, fair enough, then maybe I wouldn't take it seriously. But if he went on for months and months afterwards, maybe then it'd be something to look into. But not at the initial breakup, I wouldn't think it'd be something to look into.
Okay, but you stood your ground. You eventually finished with him, but he didn't take his own life, thank God.
No, he didn't. No.
He's still as happy as he's still happily breathing fresh air.
He's your girlfriend, and he's happy as Larry now.
Right. And you're better off away from him.
Yeah, but like saying that, like John's girlfriend, what is she thinking now? Is she going on unhappy now because she's thinking now if I leave him, he's going to do something?
So is he doing the exact same thing to her?
Yeah.
All right, look, I'm going to have to wrap this up. John, all I can say is the majority of our listeners believe that what you have done to your partner, even if it's to meet a certain end, and yes, you're still in the house and blah, 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 is just wrong. You're saying to all of those people, you don't understand.
I'm not saying I don't understand. I'm saying I'm doing what I have to do. Simple as that. I'm in a predicament, and I had to do exactly what I've done in order to keep a roof over my head and keep on trucking on. And that's that.
All right, well, I hope you don't find yourself having to make threats like that again, because listening to all of our calls tonight, it is an awful thing to do. A couple of your texts before I wrap this up. If someone threatens to kill themselves, let them. There is no way people should be forced to stay in a relationship. It is emotional blackmail. Adrian, tell that fella to go to the job agency. I was out of work on the 30th of October and signed back up to work on the 6th of November. You've not covered the other side of the coin. I was there, tried many times to kill myself, hoping to win her love and heart back. We never got back. Life moved on. Years went by. I never thought I'd love again, but I did many years later with six lovely kids, says Derek. Derek, it's an awful pity you didn't ring in, because I would have loved to have talked to you. And a couple of people saying he's probably telling the truth about getting 118 a week if he's living with her.